following announcement has been paid for by the Mike World Order. Welcome. We finally arrive. Season 5, Episode 1 of the Mike Cook Guys podcast. Nice intro that was made. For once, I wanted to be a little bit creative. I wanted to have something made that showed that we finally reached the zenith that is Season 5. Who would have thought that 5 years ago, when I first started doing this, that it was going to make it as far as it is, and bit by bit growing and maintaining a database that's still growing. And even though I'm on Season 5, it's just the beginning. I'm, of course, your guy, Mike Cook. This is my podcast, so obviously I am the voice of it. So people's wondering, first off, hey man, what happened to season finale of season 4? I didn't feel like doing it. The reason being, anticipation. It's like the song goes, anticipation is making you wait. And it's making me wait. And as I was getting hyped up for this, it made the whole interest rate just go higher and higher and higher. And I sound like I'm ranting and raving and looking up to the stars like an Ultimate Warrior promo from the 80s where he's loading up on what he calls the rocket fuel. But it's just the excitement and goosebumps as I'm having, just expressing this love that I started and this motivation that just came back. There's been so many things that's happened within the past few weeks that just made the anticipation rate so much worth it. So most people know I injured my back recently over the most simplest thing. It amazes you how it takes the most simplest thing to take away what we take for granted on an everyday basis. All I did was bend over to grab a pair of shoes, and that's all it took. That's all it took. And I couldn't walk. I was in so much pain. I felt like my legs and my back was constantly getting stabbed. But my crazy ass still went to work because I always believe unless I'm in my deathbed, I'm still going to go to work. I'm still going to make my money and pay my bills. And, because my goal has always been never to go back home a loser. Never to go back home with my head to the ground. When I go back home, I want people to know that, hey, he made it. And I'm just coming home to visit. That's always been like my day one since I moved 2.5 years ago. And it still covers a giant chip on my shoulder. Second, I notice a lot of people y'all see at the photo of this episode. Wow, that's a nice belt you have. I ended up having a new hobby. I met this guy at my other job. Come to find out, old school wrestling fan. He got me into this belt collecting raffle off of various websites until he started to run a business of his own. Months later, he said, "You got a podcast?" I said, "Yeah." "Do you have anybody sponsoring it?" I said, "No." He said to let me be the first. So I also want to mention the Mike Cook Guys podcast, with special edition raspy voice I might want to add, is sponsored by Iron Mike Championship belts. He has them all. WCW, WWF, WWE, ECW, IWGP Championship belts on stock. He's got all of the singles titles. If you're ever interested, I will give you the information of what you need to do. But that's the guy to go to. the whole belt show, Iron effing Mike. Moving tonight's subject, that moment when, ... Every topic that's going to be going on in this episode is that moment when. Each subject that's going to be mentioned is that moment when. And I'm going to start out with that moment when your squad never gives up on you. I have to admit, the Zoo Squad, who have been mentioned on past episodes with our shenanigans, the one thing that they always do, other than enjoy a good meal, other than, make me a glutton for punishment with their ragging, they've been that main group. And I'm not pointing out anybody else. I'm not singling out anybody, but I'm just pointing out on a consistent basis, they never gave up on me. And right now, they're not giving up on me on a certain subject, their version of happiness. They tell me every time, because I'm a good guy, and because of the things I do from my heart for people, why is it, Mike Cook, you never had a woman that's been so good to you, that has loved you as hard as you have, that has adored everything you've done? And my answer has always been, because there's never been one that appreciated me. But they never gave up. They still keep saying, one day you're gonna find the right one, and it's gonna happen. And maybe the views that they have, I don't see it, but they see it. Until one day, I talked to my best friend, and I looked at her, and into those big brown eyes of hers, I told her, BFF, I don't want it anymore. Stop. It's just not, it's not what I want. It doesn't complete me, because I'm so used to giving and giving and doing from the heart, and I never get anything back for it except failure, shame, heartbreak, heartache. And I used to always wonder, what did I do wrong to get hurt so much? What did I do wrong to get hurt so bad? And I just learned that those type of things aren't meant for me. So one day, I get a message from my little sister. Well, it was kind of like a message / call. And she's like, you need to get your bitch ass over here. I got something to tell you. I'm thinking, okay, you talking junk, you're going to get put in the headlock. I don't care how short you are. So I went over there and I was like, you talking junk about me? Next thing you know, White Flag by Dido is playing, which is played by Double R. And I'm looking around, they're all waving little MWO flags. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And little sister is recording this as this is going on with this big ass grin on her face like, gotcha. And I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to respond to this? At that time, I'm freshly shaven head, freshly shaven goatee, so I did what any other guy would do. I did the old Keiji pose and was like, MWO. Matter of fact, it's on Instagram. It's a very funny moment. But I'm still looking at them like, WTF, what's going on? So they mentioned, okay, we surrender. We're not going to keep going on about it. Which, come to find out, with the exception of one, that only lasted for a week. One member kept going, and that was Double R. The way that she gave her point of view about it, and she messaged me on my phone about the full point of view of what she thinks and all that. And it kind of reminded me, for those who watch a lot of urban movies, you ever remember the movie Mo Better Blues with Wesley Snipes and Denzel Washington? That was the first thing that came to mind. The ending, after he gave up on wanting to be a musician. Spike Lee's character held up the instrument that Denzel Washington gave him after he gave up because he couldn't do it no more. He raised it in there. He said, "I won't give up on you. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it. I won't give up on you." That's how she was and still is. And I kept wondering to myself, good God, no wonder why I was attracted to this woman in the beginning of the year. Because when it came to my squad, not saying I'm interested, but if I was interested in dating again, I'd want the trust of my BFF. I want her to have the innocent rebelness of introvertness of Double R, but at the same time, I want that laid back, I'm one of the cool guys mindset of Lil Sis. That's like my ideal women, because if you put all that together, that's probably what I would see. But now that I think about it, it doesn't exist. So, moving forward, that's why I wear that NWA title, because the acronym of NWA stands for Never Wrestling Alliance. Well, correction, not National Wrestling Alliance, Never Wedding Alliance. Sorry about that typo, y'all. Remember, I do this all in one take. So any fuck-ups that happen, hey, we just keep it rolling. I've only had to do one retake, and that was with an episode with Big Maury, because we were really chumming it up and it was fun as hell. Moving forward, what to expect on season 5, you might ask. So many things to be done in what I now call my little studio, the Dominion Factory, because that's the thing of being in Virginia, being Dominion strong, the old Dominion state. There's so many Dominion references, and I looked and studied into it of what it meant, because it's just like back home when they say low country this, coastal this, you know. I get it. So you could say this is like the Dominion built season, because I'm going all out with so many guests, and pretty soon I'm also going to have a guest, and this will probably be my longest podcast ever episode. Every episode has a time limit, but if I get this person on my podcast, it's going to be straight up no time limit, none. You go as long as you want. If you want to go live while we're doing it, doesn't matter. You got the open mic. Also, this season, we're going to have a chat with my sponsor, Iron Mike. So y'all get to finally know the genius behind the man that is Iron Mike and his company, Iron Mike's Championship Belts. You're also going to hear from another close friend that I made before I moved up here. So I'm going to be doing a little traveling on this podcast too. I'm going from different states. So it's going to be very interesting as to how this episode's going to be. Might as well get my boarding pass ready. Might as well. Speaking of boarding pass, and I know this has nothing to do with boarding passes, but the references make sense. So me, along with the squad, we had Papusa night. And once again, I take things a little too extra, because that's just me and I don't change for nobody. But I remember one of the things BFF said, hey, we got a guest coming. We used to work with her. You know, just be on your best behavior. And I'm like, all right, cool. But then it finally clicked in, like, who the heck? I shouldn't be offended. I mean, I know it's like good intentions, but Hell no. If they don't accept me who I am, then I don't care. I'm not here to change up and impress anybody. What you see is what you get. I will respect you, but I'm not going to do anything extra just to impress other people. I know I can be a little off switch at times with my point of view on things, but don't get it twisted. I'm not going to humiliate someone in their own house because I don't agree on trying to be on the same standards as a guest. That's just me. So as we're all doing our thing, right, I took the first shot with everyone, fireball. But then I kept that bottle real close to me without little sis knowing it. And my whole brain is like talking for me. I'm not saying nothing. Everybody's like, Mike, why are you so quiet? Mike, why you ain't talking much? You know, everything cool? Yeah. But I'm thinking, I'm like talking joke about everybody. With the exception of one. And then when I took like shot number 4, I was like, fuck that. I do what I want. This is me. And if they can't accept me, then they don't deserve to be around me. And that's just people in general. I come with a kind nature. But I notice being in this state, a lot of people aren't used to Southern hospitality. For the record, if I compliment a woman or do something nice, I'm not trying to take your woman. But of course, your guy gets easily offended. Hey man, I don't appreciate you doing this and that for my woman. Well, if you got offended by me doing that, then that clearly means you are so insecure that you can't even do your job right. Because most likely that person's not my interest. And if that offends you and you haven't fixed it, then bruh, you ain't shit. Women, same goes for y'all. If y'all feel the same way if a woman does that to your man and there's no, it's unintentional, they're just trying to be nice, and you take it the wrong way, you're not doing your job, then guess what? Get off of your high horse, because you ain't shit either. I know that was wrong, wasn't it? Y'all like, that is not right. So, hey, it is what it is, right? But anywho, I'm only making this episode not as long because, one, people tonight are busy watching All In, and I completely forgot when I was going to release this episode that, All In was going to fall on the same day. Me, I'm going to watch the replay because the high bandwidth of everyone watching it, I ain't going to be able to enjoy it to its fullest potential. So, that being said, Season 5, Episode 2, coming soon. It might be sooner than you think with how things have been. It might be very soon. Which means I need to get my shit together because this one's on a time limit. Season 2, that is. The person that I'm trying to recruit for Episode 2. Also, Season 5, I also want to add, it is open season. If you want to get on an episode, by all means, you let me know and I'll make it happen. Not afraid to put a new person on. If you got a business, run it. If you want to talk shit, we can do that. If you got something on your mind that you want to express, to let the whole world be known, and you want a platform for it, because nobody's giving you a platform, consider me your platform. That being said, here's Mike Cook signing off. Forgive me that it's a short episode. You guys will understand. If not, I could have been doing something random like singing to you guys. Because I'm just that random. Because I'm going to get most of you listeners' heart racing in my baggy jeans. And be your heavyweight dreams tonight. Let me put your hands on me in my baggy jeans. Be your heavyweight dreams tonight. Signing off. Goodbye. bye, and good night.